Welcome to Truth and Neurons. That's right, I'm not Ruby G, I'm Jay, and I'm here to talk about the Idaho 4 case, in particular the death penalty. There's a lot of contention around the death penalty and whether Bryan is going to face a firing squad. Now, if you hadn't noticed recently, as of the 3rd, there has been a slight change in Idaho. So there's been a suite of news organisations that have sued the Idaho court or have started litigation against the Idaho court, focusing on access for journalists and witnesses to see the entire lethal injection process. So not just after the drugs begin to flow, but the preparation, the everything from loading the syringe, the whole thing. Now, as a result of this, Judge Gresham has put the death penalty on hold until the Idaho Department of Corrections, I believe that is the organisation, makes changes to the killing room. I can't remember what it's called. Had a complete mental blank. But the First Amendment rights. Apparently, the state cited safety and operational concerns, but the judge ruled in favour of the news group, so Idaho now have to allow witnesses, including media, to observe the entire execution process. Drug prep, injection, part of constitutional rights to access government proceedings, which is interesting. I mean, I'm not sure I'd want to watch. Up to you. So, look, there's a need for transparency, and God forbid there hasn't been much in this case for Idaho 4. And so it's interesting because I looked at it first and I went, well, we're talking about lethal injection. What about the firing squad? Because Idaho have now made the firing squad the preferred method, and that's relating mainly to the fact that the drugs are really expensive. So why not get rid of the death penalty altogether? Anyway, so the issue around the death penalty, I did some further research into it, and all death penalty rulings are out for now until IDOC can amend their environment, which will take construction and planning and all that kind of stuff. So although the death penalty isn't completely ruled out for Kohberger, it is on hold, as is anything. And this goes back to a recent case, you probably heard of it, with Thomas Creech, where they tried to, he was on death row for, God, how long was it? A long time. And they tried giving him a lethal injection, couldn't find a vein. They tried 8 times. And they gave up. And then they want to retry giving him a lethal injection, but they are being challenged by Creech. Can't really execute someone twice. So there is a stay of execution by a federal judge. So it's going to be interesting because that debate kind of ties into the Kohberger stuff, but we'll see. Anyway, even if there was a conviction, even if Kohberger was issued the death penalty, it's not as if they walk you out the door, out the back, and pick up a gun and off we go. It is going to take a while. I've just read my notes, which I should do at the start, and Creech was 40 years before he actually had the lethal injection. So imprisoned for pretty much a life sentence. There's a lot of legal implications around this. There's ethics implications. There's a lot to watch. And who knows whether or not this might be tied to the secret hearing that is tomorrow, but there will be more on that as soon as we have further information available. That's it. Short live. Hope you're subscribed, like the video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.